My name is Mia Williams, and I'm 28 years old. I'm a professional Valorant player and co-owner of Phoenix Esports, one of the top esports organizations in North America. Last season, I earned $600,000 from salary, streaming, and tournament winnings combined. I'm the highest paid female player in the world. But 5 years ago, I was told I'd never make it in professional gaming. I grew up in Portland, Oregon, in a middle-class family. My dad was an accountant. My mom was a teacher. I had an older brother, Jake, who introduced me to gaming when I was 8. He'd let me watch while he played Counter-Strike, an old first-person shooter game. "Can I try?" I asked one day. "Sure, but you'll be bad at first." "Everyone is." He was right. I was terrible. My aim was off. My movement was clumsy. I died constantly, but I loved it. The challenge, the competition, the feeling of improvement with each match. By the time I was 12, I was better than Jake. By 14, I was ranked higher than him in every game we played together. He wasn't upset. He was proud. "Mia, you're actually good at this. Like, really good." I played competitively through high school. Counter-Strike, Overwatch, Apex Legends. Whatever FPS game was popular, I mastered it. But I never told anyone at school. Gaming wasn't cool for girls. I kept it private. At 18, I enrolled at the University of Oregon for computer science. But my real passion was gaming. When Valorant launched in 2020, I fell in love immediately. It combined everything I loved: precise gunplay, strategic ability usage, team coordination. Within 6 months, I reached Radiant rank, the highest tier. Top 500 players in North America. But there was a problem. In ranked games, I never used voice chat. I communicated through text pings and calls. My username was Phantom, gender neutral. Nobody knew I was a woman. Because the moment they found out, everything changed. The few times I did use voice chat, the toxicity was instant. "Get back in the kitchen." "Girls can't aim." "You're probably being carried." "Probably some fat, ugly girl." I learned to stay silent, to let my gameplay speak for itself. At 22, I graduated with my degree. I had job offers from tech companies, good salaries, safe careers, but I didn't want safe. I wanted to go pro. Professional gaming was growing. Top players earned 6 figures. Tournaments offered $1 million prize pools. Orgs signed players to contracts with salaries and benefits. But there was one obstacle. I couldn't hide my identity anymore. Going pro meant attending live tournaments, being on camera, representing a team publicly. Everyone would know I was a woman. I didn't care. I was good enough. I knew I was. I just had to prove it. At 23, I started applying to professional teams. I created a resume, included my rank, my stats, my tournament experience from online competitions. Everything looked impressive on paper. I applied to 15 teams over 3 months. 12 never responded. 3 invited me to tryouts. The first tryout was with a Tier 2 team. Not the best, but professional. I performed well in scrimmages, but they chose someone else, a male player with worse stats than mine. When I asked why, the manager said, "Better team fit." The second tryout was similar. I dominated in practice matches. They said they'd think about it. 2 weeks later, they signed a different player. The third tryout was with Eclipse Gaming, one of the best teams in North America. They'd placed 3rd in the last Valorant Champions Tour. Their duelist player had just left for another org, so they needed a replacement. I was nervous, but excited. This was a real opportunity. The tryout was held at their team house in Los Angeles, a large house in the hills converted into a gaming facility. 5 bedrooms, a dedicated practice room with high-end PCs, a gym, a kitchen with a personal chef. This was the dream. This was what pro gaming looked like at the highest level. I arrived on a Tuesday morning. The team captain, Tyler Harrison, known in game as Apex, greeted me at the door. Tyler was 26, tall, with the cocky demeanor of someone who'd been successful for years. He'd been pro for 4 years. He was good, not the best, but consistently solid. And he knew it. "You're Mia? Phantom?" he asked, looking surprised. "That's me." "Huh. Your file didn't mention you were female. Does it matter?" He shrugged. "Guess we'll see. Come meet the team." The other 4 players were in the practice room, all male, all in their early 20s. They looked at me with curiosity and skepticism. Tyler introduced everyone. Then, all right, let's see what you've got. We'll run some scrims. You'll play duelist. Let's see if you're as good as your stats say. We played 3 scrim matches against another professional team. Practice matches, but taken seriously. First match, I finished with 25 kills, 12 deaths. MVP of the match. We won 13-7. Second match, 28 kills, 10 deaths. Top fragging again. We won 13-9. Third match, against a stronger opponent. I finished with 22 kills, 15 deaths. Still team MVP. We lost 11-13, but it was close. After the scrims, I felt confident. I'd performed well. Better than well. I'd dominated. Tyler called me into a private office. Just the 2 of us. So Mia, you can play. That's obvious. Thank you. But we're not going to sign you? I froze. Why? Team chemistry? You're different. Having a girl on an all-male team creates issues. What issues? Morale. Comfort. The guys don't want to deal with it. It's distracting. I had the highest stats in all 3 scrims. Stats aren't everything. Team dynamics matter more. And honestly, girls are too emotional under pressure. You'll tilt in big matches. You'll bring the team down when it matters. I felt my face flush. That's not true. I've never tilted. My performance is consistent. In ranked, maybe. But pro play is different. The pressure is insane. Crowds watching. Money on the line. Girls can't handle that. You haven't given me a chance to prove otherwise. I don't need to. I've been in this scene for 6 years. I've never seen a successful female pro player. There's a reason for that. Yeah. Because people like you won't give them a chance. Tyler stood up. Look, try out for a mixed team. Maybe somewhere that does co-ed rosters. But Eclipse is all male, and it's staying that way. I stood up too. My hands were shaking. Not from fear. From anger. Tyler, you're making a mistake. One day you're going to regret this. He laughed. Doubt it. Good luck out there. I left the team house. I drove back to my hotel. I didn't cry until I was alone in my room. I was devastated. But I wasn't done. I applied to more teams. 5 more over the next 2 months. All rejected me. Same reasons. Team fit. Cultural concerns. We're looking for someone else. One team was honest. Female players create drama. We can't risk it. Then I got an offer from an all-female team called Valkyries. They competed in women's-only tournaments and some mixed events. The salary was low, $2,000 a month, but it was professional gaming. It was a start. I signed. I joined Valkyries. For 6 months, I played with them. The team was talented. We won several smaller tournaments. I was consistently the top performer, but we lacked the resources that male teams had. No gaming house, no chef, no analyst, just 5 women grinding from their own apartments. The prize pools in women's tournaments were smaller too. $10,000 for first place compared to $500,000 in the main circuit. I was grateful for the opportunity, but I knew I could compete at a higher level. Then I got a message that changed everything. It was from Coach Marcus Lee, a legendary figure in the esports scene. He'd coached multiple championship teams. He'd retired 2 years earlier but still scouted talent. His message: Mia, I've been watching your matches. You're special. I want to coach you. Free of charge. I believe you can make it to the top. I called him immediately. Coach Lee, why me? Because you're being wasted. You're T1 material playing in T3 tournaments. I want to help you reach your potential. What do you want in return? Nothing. Just prove everyone wrong. That's payment enough. I accepted. For 8 months, Coach Marcus trained me privately. 4 hours a day, every day. We worked on everything. Aim drills. Thousands of them. Tracking, flicking, precision, game sense. Reading opponents. Predicting rotations. Timing. Communication. Clean calls. No wasted words. And most importantly, mindset. Mia, your mechanics are elite. You're already better than 90% of pro players. But you're playing with something to prove. That creates pressure. That creates mistakes. How do I fix that? Stop trying to prove yourself to others. Play for you. Play because you love the game. The results will follow. It took months to internalize that. But slowly my gameplay evolved. I stopped second-guessing myself. I stopped overthinking. I just played, and I was better than ever. Coach Marcus reached out to contacts. He got me tryouts with better teams. Teams that were open-minded. One Org, Horizon Gaming, was building a mixed roster. 3 men, 2 women. Progressive ownership. Real salaries I tried out. Dominated the scrims. Got signed. Salary. $8,000 a month. Real benefits. A chance to compete in the main circuit. I was 25 years old, and I was finally a professional Valorant player on a Tier 1 team. Horizon Gaming's first season was rough. We made playoffs but lost in the first round. But I stood out. I was top 3 in kills, top 5 in rating across all players in the league. The community started noticing. Who is Phantom? This Mia Williams player is insane. Best female player I've ever seen. Some comments were positive. Others were toxic. She's getting carried. Wait until she chokes in a big match. Female players always fall apart under pressure. I ignored the noise. I kept playing. Season 2 was better. Our team synergy improved. We made it to semifinals. Lost to the eventual champions, but we proved we belonged. And then came Season 3. The year everything changed. We made it to the grand finals. Sold out arena. 10,000 fans in attendance. 500,000 viewers on Twitch, our opponent. Eclipse Gaming. Tyler's team. I hadn't seen Tyler since the rejection 2 years earlier. Now we were facing off on the biggest stage. The casters mentioned it during the broadcast. Interesting storyline here. Mia Williams was rejected by Eclipse during tryouts 2 years ago. Now she's playing against them in the finals. I could see Tyler on the other side of the stage. He looked the same. Confident. Arrogant. Map 1. We won 13-8. I finished with 28 kills. Tyler had 12. Map 2. They won 13-10. Tyler stepped up. 22 kills. I had 19. Map 3. The decider. Best of 3. Winner takes the championship and $250,000 in prize money. It went to overtime. 12-12, then 13-13, then 14-14, finally round 30, match point. Winner takes all. It came down to a 1 versus 2 clutch. Me against 2 Eclipse players. I took the first fight, 1 down. Tyler was the last player alive. He had the bomb planted. I had to defuse. He was hiding, waiting for me. I heard his footsteps. Predicted his position. Swung wide, headshot. The crowd erupted. My team rushed the stage. We'd won. I was named MVP of the finals. 25 kills in the final map. Clutch round to win the championship. As I stood on stage holding the trophy, I looked over at Tyler. He was already walking off. Refusing to shake hands, the interviewer asked me, "Mia, how does it feel to win against the team that rejected you?" I smiled. It feels like proof. Proof that talent has nothing to do with gender. The championship win changed everything. Clips of my gameplay went viral. Mia Williams destroys Eclipse. Female player clutches grand finals. I started streaming consistently. First stream, 5,000 viewers. Within a month, 15,000 average. Within 6 months, 30,000 sponsors came calling. Gaming peripherals wanted me to rep their products. Energy drink companies offered deals. Clothing brands wanted collaborations. My salary increased. 15,000 a month from Horizon, then 20,000, plus streaming revenue, plus tournament winnings. I became the most recognizable female player in the scene. But more than that, I became one of the most respected players, period. Gender aside, people recognize skill. Other female players reached out. You're an inspiration. You showed us it's possible. I used my platform. I advocated for more opportunities for women in gaming. I spoke at panels. I mentored young female players. And Tyler? Eclipse struggled. They missed playoffs the next season. Tyler's performance declined. At 27, he was benched. Then released. His pro career was over. He tried streaming. But the viewers didn't come. 50 to 100 people watching. Sometimes less. His former fans had moved on. Meanwhile, I kept rising. At 27, I received an unusual email. From David Chen, a tech entrepreneur who'd sold his startup for $90 million. He wanted to start an esports org. We met for coffee in Los Angeles. "Mia, I've been following your career. You're not just a great player. You're a brand, a movement. I want to build an organization around you." "What do you mean?" "I'm starting Phoenix Esports. I want you as the founding player and franchise centerpiece. But more than that, I'm offering you 10% ownership." I nearly dropped my coffee. "Ownership?" "Yes, you won't just be an employee. You'll be part owner. You'll have equity. You'll help build this from the ground up." "What's the salary?" $25,000 a month. 3-year contract, plus tournament winnings, plus streaming revenue share, plus your equity stake. Why me? Because you're the best, and because representation matters. I want Phoenix Esports to be the org that shows the world gaming is for everyone. I thought about it. It was a risk. New org. Unproven. But the opportunity was incredible. I'm in. Welcome to Phoenix Esports, Mia. Phoenix Esports launched 6 months later. We built a dream roster. Mia's Duelist, 3 other top-tier players, and Jenny Viper Park, another elite female player who'd been grinding for years. We had everything. Gaming house, analyst, coach, chef, mental health support, top-tier equipment. Our first season, we dominated. We won 12 matches, lost 2, made playoffs easily, finals came around again, and once again, our opponent was Eclipse Gaming. They'd rebuilt their roster after Tyler left. New players, but same org. The storyline wrote itself. Phoenix versus Eclipse. Mia Williams returns to haunt her former rejectors. We won 3-1. I was MVP again. 27 average kills across the 4 maps. After the match, the interviewer asked, Mia, Eclipse rejected you 4 years ago. Now you've beaten them twice in finals. Any message for them? I smiled. No message needed. The scoreboard speaks for itself. My streaming continued to grow. 50,000 average viewers. Sponsorship deals worth 6 figures. Tournament winnings. Salary. Revenue share. By the end of the year, I'd earned $600,000. The highest paid female player in the world. Top 10 overall across all games. I was 28, and I'd made it. One night, after a particularly good stream, I received a direct message on Twitch from a username I recognized immediately. Apex Tyler. Tyler, I opened it. Mia, congrats on everything. You deserve it. I was wrong. I'm sorry. I stared at the message. Part of me wanted to ignore it. Part of me wanted to respond with anger. I closed it. Didn't reply. A week later, another message. Mia, I know I don't deserve a response, but I'm struggling. Streaming isn't going well. Can I ask for advice? How did you build your audience? This time I responded. Tyler, 5 years ago you told me girls bring down team morale, that we're too emotional under pressure, that I'd never make it. Now you're asking me for advice? A pause. Then, I know. I was an idiot. I let my ego and bias cloud my judgment. I've changed. I'm trying to be better. Please. I thought for a moment, then typed. Tyler, here's my advice. Be humble. Respect everyone. Talent doesn't have a gender. If you can't learn that, you'll never succeed. Thank you, and you were right. I'll regret that day forever. Good. You needed to learn that. I blocked him. Not out of cruelty, but because Tyler was the past, and I was focused on the future. Phoenix Esports continued to dominate. We won 2 more championships over the next year. I remained the highest paid female player. My streaming peaked at 70,000 average viewers. I launched the Mia Williams Foundation, a nonprofit focused on supporting women in gaming, scholarships for female players, tournaments with real prize pools, training programs. Hundreds of young women reached out. You inspired me to go pro. I never thought I could do this until I saw you. That meant more than any championship. Tyler? He still streamed, to about 50 viewers on average. Sometimes he'd raid my channel, sending his small audience to mine, desperate for any acknowledgement. I'd thank him politely. Thanks for the raid, Tyler. Then continue my stream. At 28, I started thinking about retirement. Not from gaming entirely, but from professional play. I wanted to transition to full-time management of Phoenix Esports, build teams, mentor players, create opportunities. From rejected tryout to CEO, I told Coach Marcus during one of our regular calls. Not bad, right? He laughed. Mia, you didn't just prove them wrong. You changed the entire industry. That's legacy. And the sweetest part? Sometimes on Tyler's tiny streams, I'd see him watching clips of my gameplay, telling his handful of viewers, yeah, I played against her once. Almost beat her. Nobody believed him, because Tyler had become irrelevant. A cautionary tale. A reminder of what happens when you let bias blind you to talent. Meanwhile, I was everywhere. Magazine covers, keynote speeches, brand partnerships. The girl who was told she'd never make it had become the face of competitive gaming. And somewhere, in a small apartment streaming to 50 people, Tyler watched. Realizing too late that he'd rejected greatness. I'm 28 now. Still playing professionally. Still winning. Still growing my platform. Last month, Phoenix Esports signed 3 more female players across different game titles. We're building something bigger than just one team. We're building a movement. Young girls message me daily. I want to be like you. You showed me I can do this. And I tell them the same thing. You can. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, especially not people who are afraid of your potential. Tyler still streams. Last I checked, about 40 viewers. He changed his username. Probably embarrassed by the association with his old identity. But the internet never forgets. Every few months, a clip resurfaces. Remember when Apex rejected Mia Williams? Thousands of comments. Biggest mistake in esports history. Imagine fumbling that badly. I don't gloat. I don't need to. My career speaks for itself. Because here's what I learned. The best revenge isn't anger. It's not bitterness. It's not even confrontation. The best revenge is succeeding so spectacularly that the people who doubted you become irrelevant, so that when they finally reach out, desperate for your attention, you can respond with kindness and then move on, because they don't matter anymore. 5 years ago, Tyler Harrison told me I'd never make it. That girls bring down team morale, that we're too emotional under pressure. Today, I'm the highest paid female player in the world. I own 10% of a championship esports org. I stream to 50,000 people. I've inspired thousands of young women to pursue gaming professionally, and Tyler streams to 50 people. The scoreboard doesn't lie. Game over. I win.